as you can see, I already have this project open, but let's go and start from the very beginning to see how we create a recession and also a movement of the teeth. We give a name to the project, so whatever you put the name, you choose the name, and now we have to import here. We have to import our illustration. So we are going to grab our illustration and we are going to import it as a composition. So as you can see, there are some more files there, and there is a folder with two layers. These two layers that are Illustrator files, we just drag and drop into our timeline, and in this timeline, as you can see, we have the illustration, but these are two Illustrator files, and we want to stick to these Illustrator files, but in a way that we can also change the vectorial points that we designed during the illustration. So we have now to choose these two layers and create a new shape, vectorial shape from this illustration. So you go to the layer and you just click create and create a new shape from the vectorial layer. You do this with the two layers, and you see that we have another two layers right now with a star, and these are the important one. Now you can remove the other two just to not create too much confusion on your timeline, and now you have the two layers that are the different layers that you can change with a pencil tool that is also available on the Adobe After Effects. As you can see, we can move these shapes around. This is very important that you check this before you move on to create the illustration. I'm going to resize it, so we have these shapes that we can start work around. So as you can see, this doesn't move. We have the timeline. I'm going back and forth and it doesn't move. If I do the space bar, you see that it doesn't move. It's not animated yet, but I'm going to create an animation. We're going to create a recession. So I just have to grab all the tools, all the features that we have behind each layer. So you can now you have to do some keyframes. As you see, I'm going to check the keyframes inside the timeline for this layer. So the position, the size, rotation, opacity, and so I'm doing a keyframes that is my initial point is this situation that I have right now, and then I move forward my time frame, my key point. So and now I'm going to create another keyframes, but in a different position. So I move my vectorial shapes towards where I want. As you can see, this is a recession, so I'm going to move this toward this to create a recession. And here we have what is more or less the final situation that we want to represent with our animation. So as you can see now, if I move as I changes and I put there some keyframes, now the shape is going to move around. So as you can see, we have created our first animation where there is a recession, because we create two different keyframes in our timeline that represents this movement. Also, right now we are going to do other useful tip in Adobe After Effects, that is to create some sort of movement. For example, to represent what is a teeth extraction. So we are going to move around our timeline, and we are going to create another keyframes. That is very important to create the keyframes. As you can see, it doesn't move yet. but we just go more 2 seconds later, and we are going to move away the teeth. As you can see, this teeth is, we put it there, so we have another keyframe, and as you can see, if you just press the space bar, as you can see, we have the recession and we have also the movement of the teeth. So it's quite easy to create a simple animation. So right now we just have to end up our project. So here we have, so what is the points? So these keyframes is very important to control them. So because this is the basis to create some sort of movements. So now we have to export the file. So we have to add it to the Adobe encoder. That is where we are going to process the final video, and we just have to choose where we want to export the final animation and in which format. We are going to choose H.264, and we're going to export it to the desktop again, and it's going to be our final file, so our final animation, before we move it to the Final Cut, where we are going to create them or to edit the final video, just to give it the final stylish. So we press play, and as you can see down here, is now creating and is creating the final video. So you can see also what are the final adjustments. You can see how the recession takes place, and also how the tooth extraction is done.